My good friend Danny Gets Fit was one of the first people I met when I moved to Kelowna, British Columbia. Danny has achieved an incredible 140-pound weight loss, starting his journey weighing over 300 pounds to stepping on stage and winning a Transformation Award. I had the opportunity to coach him, but the impact he has made on thousands of people with his inspirational transformation and his science-based approach has definitely inspired me to share this with the world. Danny is a father, husband, good person, and lives a pretty standard life while achieving one of the most, if not most impressive body compositions I've ever saw. I have the pleasure of hosting Danny for a week as he visits Kelowna and wanted to create this video to explain how to maximize weight loss without losing muscle. And I have Danny share his first-hand experience with his amazing transformation. But first, let's get into today's vlog.
What's going on, family? Welcome back to another vlog, and today I'm hanging out with my main man, Danny Gets Fit. He's actually staying at my place all week, so I'm super excited about that, coming all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia. Today we're going to be talking about how to lose weight without losing muscle mass. I know it's so common for people to cut down. They're like, I lost so much muscle, I lost so much size and strength, and we got the weight loss expert himself to help us out today. So with that said, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy the vlog. Fourth take. Oh no! I can dribble, but I can't finish. Oh, buckets! That one in, right?
How you doing? Looking all pretty.
So we just got back. It's awesome just to be able to burn some extra calories, playing some ball instead of walking on the treadmill, because that can get boring. But babe hooking it up today. She got that taco beef on deck, and she got the sushi rice. So instead of actually taco wraps, we're gonna put it on top of rice, and I knew I was gonna have that today. So all I had earlier was a protein shake to save all the extra fats from ground beef, because we don't have super lean ground beef here in Canada.
Yeah? Okay.
Up your back line, G.
So I'm just getting some work done here.
Yeah, so much work done, boy.
Check
his work. Check it out. Check it.
No, I already got you back there. I was getting a bunch of work done here in the home office. It's actually a friggin' tornado in here, so you guys can check all of that out. That whole thing is full. Super embarrassing. I don't know what those are. But killing the sweet tooth with that Diet Dr. Pepper. Diet A&W root beer is a little bit better. And then later on, we're about to go to the gym, talk about today's topic of the video, because I know a lot of you guys can definitely relate to that. I can personally relate to that, and it's a big problem that I know can be easily fixed if you do the right thing. So sometimes it's about making the right decision versus making the rash, bad decision for a short-term outcome. Because in the long term, you're going to be happy if you guys follow this. Right, Danny? Yeah. Right.
Wait, I just hit my leg on a machine.
Okay, go.
What's going on, family? We just got to the gym. Danny just
What did you
hit your shin?
No, like little ellipticals.
This guy doesn't even know how to use elliptical.
Hit me right in the knee.
But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go into a voiceover just so I can better explain today's topic. And then once I get through the workout, we're gonna ask Danny his #1 tip, because I feel like he can relate to it very well himself and add a lot of value to you guys as well. So
Wait, so what are we talking about?
I'll tell you in a sec. So I'm putting him on the spot and give you guys some true information, interview style, after we get into this voiceover. So sit back, relax, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys back with Danny after this clip here. Woo!
Have you ever performed a cut and realized you lost too much size or felt like you could have been a little bit fuller? In my experience, this is common when looking at all levels, from the experienced gym goer to even top-level bodybuilding competitors. If you do things correctly, you can maximize muscle retention and metabolism to ensure that you're not cutting and burning off all your hard-earned gains you made during your bulk. Here I'll share actionable tips you can implement into your regimen to to avoid losing muscle during your weight loss phase. So the first tip would be to control your rate of loss. Personally, I like to recommend 0.5 to 1% of body weight loss per week because it was shown to maximize muscle retention. You can do this by adjusting your total daily energy expenditure to ensure you're in a caloric deficit by changing your workout volume, your cardio, your NEAT, and most importantly, your diet. The second tip would be to listen to your biofeedback. You need to listen to your body, where it's common to see many people try and keep their training volume and load the same as their bulk. No matter what happens, you are going to lose strength and you are going to have to drop your volume and the load you use for each lift down at some point. Once you start feeling beat up, lethargic, achy, and have a hard time getting a pump, listen to your body and take a deload. If you cannot recover, you're going to risk overtraining, which could lead to muscle loss, which leads me into my last point. Tip number 3 is to adjust your training programming to recover. There's a time where you'll need to work with less volume, as mentioned earlier. There's a time where you need to work with less volume. You're limiting your intake, you have less body fat, you're in a caloric deficit, so it's going to be harder to recover. Volume only should be pushed as high as you can recover from, where too much is actually worse and you'll run the risk of muscle loss and actually going backwards. Adjust your need for rest days and take deloads when you need them. A general rule is when you feel like you might need a deload, then it's probably a good idea to take one. Also ensure you're following your RPE/relative intensity, where going balls to the wall won't allow for perfect recovery, where the goal isn't to perform the most amount of volume during a single lift, a single session, or even through a single week. It's about trying to accumulate the most you can over a longer period of time, as it is evident that mechanical tension is the number one mechanism for muscle hypertrophy. Lastly, it's common to see program adjustments to higher reps to chase a pump, which isn't better for weight loss and maximizing muscle retention. You should still follow muscle hypertrophy training principles. You're not in there to get a pump or train for endurance, and you're not in there to train for strength. So you shouldn't be lowering your reps to maintain your strength. You shouldn't be increasing your reps because you feel like it will help you lose weight. You still need to follow these basic fundamentals. All in all, you need to focus your training protocol based off your goals, which are muscle hypertrophy based. More specifically, I am referring to the specificity principle. To sum everything up, don't be too aggressive with the diet. Losing more weight on the scale doesn't translate into better looking physique. Don't expect your body to perform the same as when you're bulking, and prioritize your recovery. Leave your ego at the door and perform fundamental principles of muscle hypertrophy. More isn't always better, so be safe and don't train harder just to get rhabdo. So let's shoot things back to Danny so he can share his amazing transformation and his tips with you guys.
We just finished up that workout, and I wanted to ask Danny because he actually has probably the most impressive body recomposition I've ever saw, honestly.
Not right now.
honestly though. And he's been through the weight loss mentally. He's been through it through so many clients because he does specialize in weight loss and obesity. I think you got certified too, like a special certification.
I did a program with Personal Training Collective.
Yeah, so I can definitely commend Danny for doing all of that. An amazing coach. I wanted to ask him, so if someone's trying to lose weight, what would you say your number one tip would be? So you won't lose muscle mass during that process or even gain muscle.
Mm-hmm. Basically, it's like, I think I come from, like, I used to be like on the same kind of level of him as like, he's like an elite, like pro athlete in my opinion. He won't admit it, but I will. And so like he looks at clients and people very differently than I do. And so before I'd be like, oh yeah, like you gotta do this and you gotta make sure you're eating like a bunch of protein. But now I honestly approach it, and with my kind of side of clients, I think a lot of people can approach this when they're kind of thinking about it too much, is putting like the most effort you can in while applying the good fundamentals, which will help you gain muscle and maintain it, which of course is, eating adequate protein, training with intensity, and applying that on like a week-to-week basis as you lose, focusing on doing the movements a bit more properly technique-wise. Some people spend like the first year kind of just
Going through the
second-guessing it.
motion,
Yeah,
yeah.
and just kind of like, oh, I go in and get out. But if you really take the time to like, now I'm kind of redoing a body recomposition after I just recently, had a family and everything. So I'm applying all the stuff that I'm really telling you right now because I've lost some muscle, I've gained a bit more fat over the years of like, not training with as much intensity, not paying as close attention to my nutrition. But because I'm getting back to it, I can apply those same principles and gain some muscle and strength back, which I've already done within the last few weeks, and then also lose fat at the same time. So you can do it in the first, 2 years or so, and then you could do it as far as if maybe you like detrain or like don't train for a while, maybe you have an injury, stuff like that. Your muscle and strength will come back. It just takes you putting that steps and that work back in.
Awesome, bro. Anyways, man, thank you. We're gonna head back to the place, get some food in, chill.
But if you ask him, he'd be
Game.
like, okay, so when you take protein, right, and you break it down into a molecule, you want to make sure these molecules go in here, and you're getting adequate protein over here, and then these are going to synthesize in your muscles, and you're going to be like me.
Peace.